why is it that it takes time to shift into a new identity, to become the version of yourself that you desire to become, especially when we hear things like manifestation is instant? Every single moment that we experience is a brand new moment. It has never been experienced before, and it never will be experienced again, even when it looks the same as moments you had yesterday or moments you had the week before. Something you do habitually, like walking the kids to school. It looks like the same thing over and over again, but it is a completely different moment. Source consciousness, all that is, everything, everywhere, all at once, is moving through itself, is moving through the all that isness, and perceiving that movement as linear time. So when we are moving our consciousness into different aspects of all that is, different aspects of the quantum field, if you like, and we do this through visualization or imagination, we are experiencing something instantly, because we are putting our consciousness into something that already exists. We just haven't shone enough attention or focus onto that position for long enough for it to solidify. Our consciousness is like steam. It moves quickly and instantly, and our physical manifestation has density. It is more like ice. It is slow to move, it is slow to melt, and it has a familiarity to it. It is within a sector of all that is that we are constantly looking through. Each new moment is different, each new moment is new, but it's within the same resonance. And so we constantly look through this same perspective and seem to experience the same thing over and over again. There's a density to it. The good thing about ice is that if you put it in a steam room, it will melt. Not by doing anything to the ice, but simply by surrounding it with the steam. And this is the same for manifesting different versions of ourselves or shifting our identities. We keep moving our consciousness into different vantage points, and therefore there is an instant manifestation in that moment of perceiving life through that vantage point. And yet when you return from that imagination, visualization, meditation, there is a natural inclination to re-solidify into the familiar identity, the ice, the physical density that you have repeatedly viewed your experience through. This is kind of like when you go on holiday somewhere sunny and fantastic. You are a tourist there. You are visiting that place. You have no rooting there whatsoever. And so although it feels wonderful and magical and it's all sunshine and beaches and all the rest of it, you are eventually going to return home to your familiar perspective where you have rooting, where you have density. And so unless you visit that same tourist spot repeatedly, you're not going to know the back roads, the ins and outs of the city or the country, the secret spots that tourists don't know about, the best coffee shops, etc., etc., because you don't have any rooting or familiarity there. And so it's like steam. Once you've been and gone, it almost feels like you've never been there at all. So the way that we change our identity to manifest a new version of ourselves is to continue to returning to the vantage point of the version of ourselves that we want to become, keep returning to the steam until the ice is melted and that steam starts to solidify into water. It still has movement, but maybe we are not completely solidified in that identity yet. And when we become a mid-version of ourselves, if you like, we have days or hours or weeks where we feel like that new person with those new thoughts and those new beliefs and those new behaviours and those new feelings, and yet we have experiences of the old, because the ice and the steam, the attached identity and the new identity are merging and floating within each other. And this is normal. It's like there's it's like superposition. Our consciousness is not fully in the new and it's not fully in the old. So it's in a superposition at the same time. There is a split attention, a split focus, a split direction of our consciousness. And so we can feel like, oh, this isn't working, or I keep going backwards, or nothing's changed. When in fact, a gazillion things have changed. Maybe there's all these micro actions that you don't take anymore, all these thoughts that you barely think anymore, all these feelings that you used to live in and now maybe you just visit them once a week. All these new actions that you start taking, all these new thoughts that you recognize yourself having, all these new feelings that your previous self never even felt before. And so it is changing, it can just look the same. And so essentially you keep visiting the coordinate, the perspective that you want to be enough times, and you stop being a tourist there, it starts feeling like home.